Hello plant friends, welcome to the first in the series of Plant of the Day videos. This is my blog, House Plant Passion, where you're going to get tips and tricks, all kinds of information regarding how to take care of your plants. So let's get started. The plant of the day today that I've chosen out of my collection is this beautiful silver Maranta. Marantas are part of the prayer plant family. If you don't know about them, they're kind of cool. They move these beautiful leaves up and down to follow the light during the day. Since it's daytime, all of my Maranta's leaves are pointing down. As the sun starts to move in the sky and the room gets darker, she raises her leaves to try and optimize the amount of light she can get in to her leaves to make the energy she needs. I feel this is one of my favorite plants, plant families in general. I love prayer plants. I think it's awesome. They're very versatile. You can either hang them from a basket, like I have one, my red Maranta hanging up behind me, and she looks lovely. She loves it there. Or you can keep them in a nice pot and just put them on your coffee table or on a stand somewhere, just to be awing people with their beauty. She's so stunning. So a little information about plant care for the Maranta. They love bright indirect light, and you should never put this type of plant in direct light. Direct light meaning the rays of the sun actually make contact with the leaves. I don't know if you can tell, but her leaves are super, super thin, and it would just fry her. She wouldn't be able to tolerate that. Even though they like bright indirect light, they are from Brazil and other tropical rainforests. They live on the forest floor, so they're used to getting dappled sunlight, whatever they can get through the canopy. So they do just fine with low light environments as well. They may not thrive, but they will tolerate it. Will put out some growth. This girl has her own grow light. She's loving it. I put her. When I got her, I found her in a local grocery store. She was in pretty bad shape. She was in a corner, dry as a bone, and I had to buy her because I love prayer plants. I brought her home to rescue her. I examined her for pests. I didn't see any. Her roots looked just fine. So I repotted her in a clear pot, and as you can see, she's continued to just throw out more and more beautiful white roots, really healthy. I like to put all my plants in these clear nursery pots. That way I can actually watch to see how dry the soil is and keep an eye on the health of the soil and also the roots of the plant. In general, these plants like to have a moist, consistent soil. They do not like to dry out in between waterings. Normally, when I give water advice, I would say let your soil completely dry out before you give your plant a really good drink. These plants, I guess that's why they get the label of being fussy or diva-like in the plant world, because they really don't like to dry out in between waterings. You kind of have to keep an eye on it. As far as watering is concerned, I have to watch myself. I'm a reformed serial plant killer, and my weapon of choice, I didn't know it at the time, was water. I would water my plants to death. So I got myself a moisture meter. I got it on Amazon because I can't trust my fingers. You can get one of these on Amazon. Also, you can get similar ones, not quite as fancy, at a local garden center, even a Lowe's. You can go between Celsius if you're not in the United States. You can also go to Fahrenheit if you are living in the United States. So what I do is I will put this in when I'm doing my laps several days a week to check on my plants. And right now it says less than 5%, which would be dry. When it's in the normal range, which is moist, it will be between 40 and I believe 60, which is perfectly fine for this plant. She seems to thrive in that range. I water her as soon as her percentage gets down to 40%. If you're interested in something like this and you can't trust your finger like I can't, I just can't trust what I'm feeling. If you tend to be an overwaterer, I'll put a link to this to Amazon if you'd like to look at that more. Anyway, when it comes to water, this plant can be a little bit finicky with that. Again, back to the fussiness. They do not do well with chemicals. They do not do well with a lot of minerals, especially salt in water. Where I live, we have a very hard water, and we don't have the ability to filter it unless we buy a filtration system that we don't attach to the main water. So what I've chosen to do, what is easiest for me, is I just water her with distilled water. You can also, if you have the ability to do so and you have room outside, you can just catch rainwater. And I mean, that's nature's milk to plants. That's what they would normally get in the wild. I give this to her and she loves it. As you can see, if you do not water them properly, look at this leaf right here. You will get browning of the leaf just like here. And it's just such a shame because, I mean, look at these leaves. Look at those beautiful silver bands and the contrasting green. It's just stunning. She had quite a few of those leaves going on because she was bone dry when I found her. Now that I have her watering under control, she's just putting out tons and tons of new growth with no browning on it, which is fantastic. Humidity, this plant loves to live in between, I would say, 60 to 70% humidity, but I have found she does perfectly fine, as well as all my other prayer plants, Marantas, Stramanthes, all those plants do just fine as long as you're between 50 and 60% humidity. It'll keep them from getting little crispies on the end of their leaves. Temperature-wise, they do just fine, anywhere between 65 and 75 in Fahrenheit. Converting that into Celsius, I believe that would be 18 to 24 Celsius, and they will thrive in that temperature range. One thing you need to remember is they don't like sudden changes in whatever temperature they have. So let's say you have your temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit and it drops down suddenly in a half an hour to even 2 hours to 50. They don't like it. They will let you know it, especially in their leaves. Feeding, I don't feed my Marantas in the winter or the fall, even though they continue to put out growth. This girl has not been fed at all, simply because I don't want to give her root burn from fertilizer, and I don't know the last time wherever she came from fertilized her. It could have been unlikely since she was dry as a bone, but it could have been the day I bought her. So I let them go without for several months, even if it's in the growing season, just as a precaution so I don't give them any fertilizer burn. Pruning, I don't really do a whole lot of pruning. The only thing I really do with this plant is I will prune away any yellow leaves. I'll get one every once in a while at the base, the older leaves, and they have a lifespan just like anything else. One or two showing up, not a big deal on a plant like this, but if you have a lot of leaves starting to turn yellow, then that's letting you know that you might have something going on with your plant. You might have some pests, or you have to reevaluate the care that you're giving them. But in general, she's just a stunning plant. She loves to flower. This type of Marantas in general love when they're happy to keep pushing out flowers, and this girl is no different. And I think they're just so precious. They're white with purple centers. She has one going here, she has one opening up back here, and she has a new one that she's sprouting over here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But a lot of people have a theory in the plant world that you should just clip those off, because the plant will put all of its energy into making those beautiful flowers, because that's how they propagate themselves in the wild. I found with the Marantas that's not the case. I can leave those flowers alone. They'll hang around for several days and nature will take its course. Then I just prune those off And they still continue, this plant continues to give me new growth of leaves. She's given me a new leaf there, 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 one down here, and two over here. I don't know if you can see that. She also has one that she has popping out under here. So that is easily a half dozen new leaves she's putting out, even though she's consistently giving me flowers. So in synopsis, I love this plant. I love Marantas. I love prayer plants. I think it's just so clever how they have adapted to their environment and their leaves move to optimize, you know, their light as the day goes by. I also love that this plant, I do have an animal. I have a dog, an Australian Shepherd named Uko, and I think it's wonderful that I don't have to worry about him ever taking a nibble of her, because this plant you're seeing right here, along with all the other prayer plants, are pet safe. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, give your plants some love.